today's video, I'm going to share with you one simple and powerful way to be more productive. Let's get it, Celia.
Gotta take what's burning from deep down within out into the world so the healing can begin. Created for greatness, don't let anything get in the way. Realize if you realize you'll affect the world in a major way. Time to make a difference and show the world what you're all about. Live life with passion, fire it up from the inside out.
Yes. Good morning. Welcome to another live stream episode of FTIO, where we are all about inspiring change from the inside out. So check it out, y'all. Today is the 23rd live stream. I posted that the other day. Wow, 23 live streams, and this is week 5. Again, if this is your first time with me, I'm here Monday through Friday. Currently, this is the quarantine series, right? Shelter in place, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And again, if this is you find any value in today's video, do me a favor and consider joining the tribe and clicking subscribe on the link below so that we can stay connected. So when all of this is over and things are lifted and schedules start to change, we can still stay connected and you can still get updated and notified whenever I drop some new content out. So yes, again, Bro Rye here, and good morning to all of you that are watching live. And if you are on the live stream or even on the replay, do me a favor and just drop a hello, a good morning, or good afternoon, wherever you're at, and then just maybe even drop where you're watching from and where you're tuning in from. I love to know where where this technology is taking me, so that I can be with you wherever you are to either start your day, maybe you're in the middle of the day, or maybe you are ending your day. So nonetheless, today I am super excited about today's topic. Yes, today's topic is really simple, right? Be more productive. How to be more productive. Oh, I got some comments already. Let me go ahead. Good morning, Chavez. Yes, beautiful weather out in Arizona. Yes, we got, my boy Darren. Welcome back, Darren. Good morning. And then, of course, Joanne, one of the faithfuls. Good morning, Joanne from Fairfield. So thank y'all for being on again and just rocking with me every morning here on this live stream. So here's today's topic, right? Today's topic is how to be more productive. Now, as you know, or maybe not, as you may or may not know, I started taking this new YouTube influence challenge. It was a 7-day challenge, and the idea was, again, how to provide more content that provides more value, how to provide, how to share your message, and how to take it to a platform. Because as you know, right, Google is the #1 search engine, and YouTube is #2. So if we think about it, right, if we really want to get our message out there, if we really want to make an impact, like YouTube is part of the equation, right? And so in this training with Sean Cano, with Heather Torres, Tony, and I think Heather, right? The Think Media family has been definitely just dropping nuggets of knowledge on me left and right. Now, here's the thing, like they're sharing with me all these different concepts that aren't necessarily new to me, right? Like reverse engineering, researching, all the things that they're sharing in their process, in their program isn't anything that isn't necessarily new to me, but the way they formulate it and even the psychology behind it in terms of video content, in terms of YouTube, in terms of you, the viewer, and thinking of and considering all those different things, like I started really like digging in and diving deep into it. So this actual video was inspired from yesterday's session by Heather Torres. Shout out to Heather Torres. You can follow her on Instagram, Mrs. Heather Torres. And she did this training on coming up with your game plan and how to be more productive. And so what I'm sharing with you today is just a very small part of yesterday's training, and it just fired me up because, again, finding your gaps and knowing where you need to improve is the only way that you're going to grow, right? If you stay comfortable, we know this, if you stay comfortable, you're never going to grow. So at the end of the day, yesterday's training just fired me up. So I wanted to actually, make a live stream and answer any questions that I could, hopefully, if you have any. So go ahead and drop those in the comments. But just more importantly, like I like documenting through YouTube. So this is a way for me to even look back, right? And look back at, my thoughts, my feelings, what I was going through. So this platform, and we know YouTube isn't going away anytime soon. So let's see. Oh, wait, we got LA in the building. Good morning. Good morning, Alani. I got to call you so we can get on that live stream soon. Me, you, and Amy. All right. So check it out, y'all. So here it is. Here it is. So first and foremost, first point I want to make today, right? Let's be clear. Busy is not the same as productive. Okay. Busy is not the same as productive. I said earlier, in the intro, how many times do we feel like we do so much? We do so much, but yet we still don't feel like we got anything done. And in my second sentence there, remember, in order for something to be productive, something needs to be produced. Right? Produced. Something needs to come out of the hard work that you're putting in. If you're doing all this busy work, but nothing is being produced, then you're not being productive. So let's just be very clear. And again, we can apply this in so many areas of our life where we're doing this, we're doing that, but yet still nothing is coming from it. Nothing is being produced. We're not bearing any fruit. So think about that for a moment in your own life. And think about some of the things that you consume yourself with every day, something that keeps you busy every day. And what do you have to show for it? Or like what came out of that? Right? And there's so many things that I look at in my own life, like, wow, like I feel like even now being sheltered in place, put a me too right in the comment if you feeling like, because we're sheltered in place, sometimes we feel like there's not enough time in the day. We feel more busy now than ever than when we were going out and having live meetings or working or going to work. So like, I don't know about you, but for me, I feel like even though we're sheltered in place, yes, there's no more commute time, I get to make my own schedule, but I still feel like sometimes there's just not enough time in the day. So I think that's something that we have to be very clear with. Like, being busy is not the same as being productive. All right, so go ahead and write that down in your notes. Next, clarity is key, y'all. Clarity is key. I cannot stress this enough, right? Clarity in everything we do is going to help us know if we're truly being productive. Now, earlier in the program, in the course, right, in the very beginning, right, I think it started with clarity over creativity. Like, you could have all these creative ideas, but if there's no clarity, and I did drop that in the how to grow your YouTube channel video, so be sure to check that video out when I talked a little bit about clarity. Starting your YouTube channel was like, if people don't know what your YouTube channel is about, if people don't know what you're about, why would they even consider following you? Or just not even on a human level, if I want to be your friend, or if someone's going to be your friend, think about that. Are you clear with who you are and what you're about? Whether that's your morals, your values, whether that's, your interests, your hobbies. Like, if you're not clear with who you are, then who's going to want to stay connected with you? Who's going to want to be your friend? Who's going to want to hang out with you? Who's going to want to follow you on YouTube, right? Or whatever that might be. Who's going to take your message in? So being very clear is key. And again, this is just a process that, like I called it, I'm just refining the tools, refining the vision, refining the mission, especially here on this YouTube platform. So clarity is key. All right. So whatever you want to do, whatever your goals are, just be very clear on that. And then after that, once you have that clarity, right, then you can actually use that to guide your next steps. You can use that as your measure, as a way to measure whether or not you are still aligned with what your goal is, or what you want people to know about you, or to, see about you, or whatever that might be. And that's really important, just understanding that clarity. So quick, simple, powerful way that you can figure out, right, like what needs to be done and how to be more productive. So take your notes out. Remember, people forget, paper remembers. So write it down. All right. Or actually, you're on the replays. And if you're watching this on the replay or live, you'll be able to have access to it anyway. So here we go. First thing. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to rank what we do on a daily basis, on a weekly, or even a monthly basis. Right. But here's the first kind of qualifier, way to rank what's a priority and what's not. Because again, right, we have all these things, but what's really the priority? And let's be clear with that. Like, so looking at your day first, okay, the first thing was things that you don't want to do, but need to do. Okay, so that's number one. The first, and we're going in priority order here. So the first priority are the things that you don't want to do, but need to do. So for example, for myself, doing YouTube, I'll use a YouTube example as a, in this breakdown. So video editing, right? I shared with you a couple days ago that video editing is not my jam. Respect to all, you know what I'm saying, video editors out there. Like, man, working with Premiere, Adobe Premiere Pro. Again, I was so used to, what was that iMovie for so long, and just like, but I got the tools now and I have the resource, and I'm like, come on, bro, you gotta do it, even though I don't want to do it, right? And for some of us, that might even be like going to the gym. For some of us, right, we don't want to go, but we need to go. So that should be, so these are the things that should be high on your priority list. All right, let's see, we got a comment here. Bonilla, yes, exactly. Being busy is not equal to how important we are. Yes, exactly. Sometimes we stay so busy, right, that we forget our own value. And I thank you for bringing that up. Like sometimes we try to stay busy and we try to, like appease or try to make other people happy so much, right? And what ends up happening is that we like forget our own value. So yes, shout out to Alani. Thank you for that. So again, so number one, right? Don't things that you don't want to do, but you need to do, right? That, but you need to do. Number two, let me go ahead and we're just gonna fly through these. Number two, are things that these are the things that you want to do and you need to do. So for example, for me, I love creating content. I love, recording the videos. I love, doing the audios. I love, thinking of all the different visuals and imagery that I'm going to use for videos. So I love, I want to do those things and I know I need to do those things. So it's crazy, right? Like the editing part, I'm not really a huge fan of, but like putting it all together, creating it, right? Creators create. So, creating and that creative process is something that I want to do and something that I need to do, because who is the end result, right? Or what's the end result? What am I producing? A video that will add value to each and every one of you who are watching. So something to think about. What are the things that you want to do and that you need to do? That's going to be number two. Okay. That's going to be rank number two. And then number three, here's number three, are the things that you want to do, but you don't actually need to do. And I believe like this one right here is probably the one that we all struggle with the most when it comes to being productive. Because once again, right, these are the things that we want to do, but we don't actually need to do in this moment. Thinking in terms of being productive, in terms of producing, right? How many times do we find ourselves, getting caught up in that rabbit hole, so to speak, and you're here, you're there, and then all of a sudden time flies and you just, realize that you were on YouTube or on Netflix or on, you're watching TV, right? Like things you want to do. Yeah, I want to watch TV all day, right? But do I actually need to do it? No. Yeah, I want to like watch all these YouTube videos on how to become a great, YouTuber, or how to do this or how to edit. Like, yeah, I want to, be on these platforms. I want to be on social media and, see how everyone's lives are doing and interact and engage. But do I actually need to do it? Right? What are some things that are, in your day-to-day routine, things that you want to do? And I like to say, like, in this situation, it's the things that we're comfortable with. It's the things that, we can do without even thinking about it. It's the things that, make us feel good. And again, I'm not knocking that, but thinking about being productive, we want to think of, is it really making us productive or not? Or is it just taking time away? Especially when I hear, folks who are on Netflix. And again, I'm not knocking watching TV and taking some time for yourself if that's something that you calendared and you blocked off, and that's a whole nother, tool. It's called calendar blocking. But if it's something that you just are doing, off the whim, and like you watch one show and then all of a sudden you hear like people watch the whole episode, the whole series, in one day, and I'm like, well, what else did you do that day? Right? Again, I'm not knocking that, but this is a little reality here when we're talking about being productive, right? If you're clear on what your goals are and you're clear on what you're trying to accomplish for that day, for that week, for that month, right? Short term and long term, we got to really look at, do this reality check and look and see, well, where is this thing that I'm doing? Where does it rank? Is it high on the priority list or is it low on the priority list? Okay, so again, I know this one's going to sting for a lot of us out there, myself included, but like, let's just be honest with that. And then the last one is this, right? Things that you want to do, I'm sorry, take that back. Here we go. Things that you don't want to do and the things that you don't need to do, right? So this is like the lowest of all the priorities here. Okay, 1 through 4, like things that you don't want to do and things that you don't actually, and they're the things that you don't actually need to do. Now, I was talking to Danielle about this one yesterday, and I was like, well, what is that? And so the only thing I could think of is like, and again, pre COVID-19, right? Pre check in with everyone, make sure everyone's good. Like, for the most part, when you have that opportunity, just check in, make sure everyone, yeah, make sure everyone is good. So, but like, I think of this example that I was thinking, it was like, maybe it could be like, you know, maybe there's that person that when they call, it's not going to be like, a short call, or it's not going to be a short phone call, or that it's not, it's going to mess up the flow of whatever you have going on, and or because like, just maybe again, this is pre-COVID-19. That's the only example that I could think of. So if you can think of an example for number 4, do me a favor and just drop that in the comments. Be super helpful. But just thinking of like, sometimes we get caught up, like we pick up the call and then all of a sudden, like, 30 minutes to an hour of our day is gone. And did we actually really need to pick up that call at that moment? Right. So thinking about things, and maybe we weren't even really in the mood to like talk to, to that person, not because of it's the person, but just because we know that it's not going to be a short call. And maybe there's other things you got going on, or maybe you just needed some space for yourself, right? For whatever reason, you didn't want to do it and you didn't actually need to do it. So those are like some of the things that go on the bottom of your priority list. Let's see what comment here. Yeah, the shoulds, right? Yeah. So Darren's like, yeah, the shoulds, right? So yeah, so I think about just the way that we can prioritize our day. So take a moment, right? And one thing that I love that Heather Torres said yesterday, one of the terms, and again, this is just a small piece of the training that we had yesterday, but she said like done before one or done by one. Like imagine if you just did everything and you were able to like, or you only had till 1 p.m. to finish so that you can make sure that you have time for your family, make time for, your health, your own, your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health. Like, right. We have to always consider all those different things. Right. And I'm not just talking about business or school or work or anything like that, but taking a moment and really thinking like, wow, what would be the priorities if I had to be done by one? Like, what would I rank? So here's the simplest, powerful way that you can, prioritize your day to be more productive, right? So your next step is write down all the things that you want to do, need to do, or feel like you have to do, should do, could do, whatever that might be. Just make a whole list. Or what I actually started doing was I wrote down everything that I've been doing in the past couple days, and then I ranked them, right? I started ranking them 1 through 4, just putting number 1, 1 through 4 right next to it, and just looking at, okay, I ranked this a 1, but what did I actually do? Right. So make a list and have that reality check with yourself. Like write down all the things you did yesterday, for example, and then rank them. Okay. Like on priority for productivity, rank them, and then actually look at your schedule and say, did you make it a priority? Right. Did you get it done by 1 or not? And I think that's going to be a huge game changer for a lot of us out there, us entrepreneurs, all of us who are at home, working from home, making our schedules and really trying to figure out like our priorities to be productive. And again, priorities in the sense that let's be productive in, our work. Let's be productive in our businesses. Let's be productive in our families. And let's be productive in our health. So this isn't just like how to be more productive with work. So I just want to be very clear with that. Let's be productive in all areas of our life. But how do we prioritize that? How do we prioritize that? So just a quick recap, and then we've got one more comment here. Yo, good morning, Nancy. Yes, how to be more productive, Nancy. Shout out to Nancy. Thank you for coming on the stream. Yeah, and again, y'all, like this is a game changer for me, because as I write down some of the things that I do, I'm number 3 a lot, right? Number 3, things that I want to do but don't actually need to do. Like that is like where a lot of my time goes, especially when you're sheltered in place. Right. And so thinking about that. And so one thing that I also, and here's an example of number 1 as we're talking about this, don't want to do, but need to do. Okay. And again, this is applying to all aspects of life. So for me, that was painting. That was painting and gardening with my wife. Like, seriously, like this thumb is not green. Like I'm not that guy. I used to do all that stuff when I was younger. It just isn't in me anymore to, to do all that stuff around the house, the painting, the staining of the fences, the planting, the gardening. I did it, of course, right? I didn't want to, but I need to. And why do I need to? right? Because this is not about the gardening. This is not about the fence. This is about spending time with my wife, right? This is about having quality time with her, uninterrupted technology, device free time, something that she loves. And I said, even though I don't always want to do it, I know I need to do it because this is what's going to help us grow as a couple. This is what's going to help us, do something together. This is our time in the day or in the of the week where we can actually, do something together and create, continue our connection and continue to build our relationship and our marriage. So, again, I'm just as we're just live streaming this, I'm seeing all these different things that are coming up for me now. Let's see the comments here. Thank y'all for dropping some comments because let's see. Chavez, yeah, set up reminders on your phone to help keep you on track. Yeah, that could be, another way to manage your priorities and knowing like maybe setting in a, in a reminder of like, okay, by this time, like a reminder, like, did you do this or have you accomplished that? And that takes a little bit more work, right? And that's something that, again, I struggle with a lot too. And that organization piece is like having it all organized, right? Block calendaring. So that's something that I'm going to be diving into with the GCal because I use a GCal a lot to schedule appointments and to schedule, different things. Like, because in my work, right, like there's so many different elements. You have the administrative piece, so emails, and making sure all that stuff. And now that I'm doing work virtually, like that's a whole nother, animal that we gotta like, explore because I'm like trying to figure out how to, still be effective and still be able to be me times two, in front of the camera, right? And then trying to organize that. Let's see, Alani, yes, absolutely. Prayer, health, work, and school. Like these are all different ways, right? Things that need to be prioritized in our life so that we can be the most productive. And if anything, if I can share with you anything from this live stream is that's it, right? To figure out, have clarity, right? Have clarity on what is most important and what's most valuable, what's going to add value to your life and the lives around you, right? Be clear with that. Write down all the different things that you do in your day. Prioritize what's going to make you most productive. All right, Nancy, yo, dude, I'm like a squirrel. Right? Sometimes we are, right? Sometimes like in that whole saying, right? You can't chase two rabbits, right? And expect to catch them both. And matter of fact, if you try to like, we've been learning and training, like you try to chase two, you might not even catch one of them. And so, to speak to Nancy's point, sometimes I feel like there's 50 rabbits that I'm out there trying to chase. And it's like, slow down, Wody, right? Just go ahead and just start with that one. Just start with that one. So just as a little recap, y'all, again, this is all about just how can we make our days more productive. How to be more productive starts with knowing our priorities. And when we talk about prioritizing, right, I just gave 4 different ways. So again, just make that list like I was sharing earlier. Here we go, right? Just rank that list, make it daily. And with that, we keeping this one sweet, simple to the point. All right, and again, this channel is all about inspiring change, y'all. We're trying to inspire that change, changing our routine, changing our habits, changing our mindsets, changing, the physical, the mental, the spiritual, whatever it is that we need to change so that we, right, that we can live in our greatness. That's what this is all about. So, again, just a little recap. First of all, let's start here. Busy is not the same as productive, y'all. Remember, right? In order for something to be productive, something needs to be produced. Clarity is key. All right, all the confusion, all the smoke, all the fog is not going to help you reach your goals. It's going to be more confusing than anything else. All right. So first thing, and how we're going to rank our priorities that we do on a daily basis. Number 1, right? Things that we don't want to do, but we need to do. Number 2, things that we want to do and need to do. Okay. Number 3, the things that we want to do, but don't actually need to do. Number 4, don't want to do, and we don't actually need to do. All right. So make a list, rank what you do daily, start evaluating your priorities. All right. So that you can be more productive. And with that, we are out of here, y'all. Thank you again for tuning in. All right, to this FTIO series, Quarantine Edition. All right, Quarantine Edition. Oops, hold on, y'all. Working this tech here. There it is. Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you found any value in this video at all, I I would love for you to consider joining the tribe and clicking subscribe on the link below. Definitely check out some of the other videos, how to grow your YouTube channel, ways to find your why, and so much more. We have videos, podcasts, and again, live streams so that we can truly inspire change from the inside out. And your boy's out of here. Have a blessed day, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Peace.